to start with you, if that's okay.
Okay.
Let's start with this concept, and you're someone who has created some great monsters and some things to kind of jump out at us too. What's it like creating something where you can, I guess, have wings to expand upon, as we go through different iterations like this?
Oh shit! I gotta go.
No. He can talk when he talks to me. Everyone knows his color.
No, I mean it was. I'm a huge horror fan, and I've always wanted to do like lots of practical effects and like makeup, and in the previous films I've done, it hasn't really been that. So this was a chance to really go big and earn that R rating, and get to do lots of different monsters. I mean, this was the perfect thing to sort of come back to after not having done horror for a while, because we could do all of it,
And what did you do to earn that R rating, if I can ask for fans to know ahead of time?
Yeah, what didn't we do?
That's a better question.
Just a lot of different practical makeup effects one thing I really love doing, which is something we did on Annabelle as well, is to hire like amputee doubles, so you can actually, you don't have to use CGI to like remove limbs, like you can actually do it in camera.
That's cool.
It is cool. And I mean, that was very fun.
Gary, when it comes to being producer writer, what is it that you wanted this story to be like? What was the world that you wanted to expand upon as they go through these different levels of their own hell?
I really wanted to maintain. I wanted to be true to the spirit of the game. The game leaned into a lot of different genres, and I thought about really, Blaine. I thought about sort of how can we push that even further. So it was much like David. It was the idea of being able to play around with different genres, subgenres of horror within the same movie. That was a lot of fun.
Let's go to Belmont. Can you tell me a little about Abe?
Hey. Yeah, so Abe he's the character kind of on the periphery of the friend group. He and Nia have been in a relationship. Yeah, like the whole theme of the film was like, shut the fuck up and fuck you, Abe.
Yeah, that's really the whole theme of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the movie.
That's what the movie is about.
That's a real
It's really
horror.
the ego.
He was really fun to play. He's like kind of the classic like babe get behind me character in the horror film.
Literally.
Baby, behind me.
Yeah, and it was fun because he has some contrasting opinions throughout the film about how to survive and how to get through. So we got to butt heads a little bit. Abe's the best. I love him tenderly.
Tenderly.
And since you had thoughts on Abe, let's talk about Megan next.
Yeah. Well, she's perfect, so let's start there.
I mean,
I don't know what to say about she's like very spiritual. She loves Clover. She is one of like the main drivers of why they're on the trip, because I think she's hoping that like this trip to recreate the journey that Melanie's gone on before something happens and we can't find her anymore. It was important to Megan because she's hoping that Clover can get closure and grieve and move on. And then it's change of plans. Change of plans.
Change of plans. Easy enough.
Mildly. Just like a little bit.
Michael, let's talk about Max.
Okay, well, I feel like Max throughout the course of the film, like, kind of like starts to. Why did everyone laugh? I didn't even start talking again.
We can tell you want to get out fast so you can get back to coloring.
Yes. So I mean, I think like throughout the course of the film, like Max is starting in a place where he's definitely confused and is kind of like looking for answers, like especially in his relationship with Clover. And then, like, throughout the course of the film, kind of finds his footing to become, like, more of, like, his own person and, like, kind of steps into being a stronger character and, like, kind of steps into... I mean, it's like kind of like the boy to a man sort of story, I guess.
Oh, wow.
This guy, yeah, it's like kind of like a bad... that's the only way I can describe it now, but yeah. The coloring is distracting. But no, yeah.
Oh, also, we're step
doing something
siblings.
very
Yeah, and we're step siblings, yeah.
We got fun too. And that's on non-traditional family units.
Yeah. Well, let's open up those roles for sure. Let's talk about Nina.
It's okay, we don't have to. No, I'm sorry.
And moving on.
Well, I think Nina, similarly to Megan, loves. Oh shit! I'm supposed to be coloring.
No, you can stop her while you're talking if you want, or you do both, whatever you want.
Okay, I think Nina, similarly to Megan, loves Clover and wants to help her find closure, kind of, and also is a little bit like, she's kind of more the non-believer, like, all right, I guess we're doing this type girl, and she's just, they're along for the ride, and they get stuck in a really bad fucking situation.
Really bad.
One of the worst. Arguably the worst.
Yeah.
She loves it.
Yeah. Well, there's always those bad.
Always wanted all that shit to happen to her. It's like every fantasy of hers ever.
Okay.
I like how everyone's a star in their own story already. These two. So maybe we should have just done chapters of each one of these characters. So, and apparently everyone loves Clover too. So tell us
So
about
much.
Clover. As
Listen,
well.
I mean, it's crazy. Clover, what to say about Clover?
Like, what did I do again?
What happened? I don't remember the last
What's in this
years of my life.
Years.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is recorded. That's fine. Clover is.
Yep, I feel you. Yep.
Clover is.
She is.
Totally.
She
More than anything, she is.
is what it really is. She's grieving the loss of her mother, and her sister's gone missing, and she and her group of friends are on a. Didn't ask for the plot.
She's very
Someone help me. She's a very loyal friend.
She wears a hoodie because she's
She wears a
sad.
hoodie because she's sad. I remember on one of the first days I said to David, I was like,
Or cold.
well, I said, can I take off the hoodie? Like, it's really hot. And he was like, well, she's depressed. And I was like, fair enough. So true. Like, you know what? I get that. But no, Clover is a really loyal friend, and she's lost herself since losing her sister, and
Right.
this trip is kind of, her friends are attempting to help her rediscover herself, little does she know. And
And then she sort of maybe resents that.
and she resents that a bit because she is stuck in her grief, and throughout the film she kind of is through the love of her friends and the power of friendship.
Yeah.
She's able to kind of begin to recover and rise out of her grief, and remember that there's life past what she's feeling at that moment, despite it being,
Right.
horribly all-consuming. What?
No, it's great.
Gary?
You're really drawn.
He's looking at writing tips.
He's like, that's not what I wrote. I went a little bit of a different way.
Yeah, well, you know what? We're here with the actors right now. We have the director too. So, was there ever anything he yelled at you or told you about that you guys thought was funny, or something in the moment you were like, yeah, no? Like, is there anything that he did or gave you direction of that just seemed kind of ludicrous in the moment but got you there?
What
Well,
did
guys,
you
you
yell
know-
at me in the moment where I was like, David, yell it at me? You remember?
David did a lot of off-camera.
Like, where he's like,
You're like,
monster.
no!
Or he'd be like, roar!
Yeah. Well, do you know when we were watching the TV?
The TV.
He goes,
And you
and
guys
now
were
there's a
watching
guy, and
Oh, yeah.
it was great. And what's he doing? He's eating a hand. It was really helpful. It was, and we're staring at a wall, and we're like,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, he did all the off-camera monsters really well, actually, and sometimes he would genuinely startle us.
Well, he would
Because
startle
he's
us
in like
really
the next
well.
room and he was loud.
Yeah, and he would scream bang, and it would actually be quite scary at times.
Well, you also have such a soft-spoken delivery to most of
I
your things.
save it for those things.
Yeah,
Right?
and then you turn on the volume and it's like, oh, you're like a little startled baby. I'm like,
We have so many great monsters and things in this too. What was it when you guys got to see all the the practical aspects of the horror in here too? Like, what's it like as an actor, or just as a fan of the genre, when you get to be there and you be like, ooh, cool, or well, I kind of wanted to bite me a little bit. But what's the feeling of being on that set?
It was,
horrifying.
yeah, it was super sweet. Our prosthetics team was so talented.
Shout out to Steve Newburn
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The whole team is so good.
and the whole team.
When you'd sit in the chair, you'd know what they were going to apply, and you'd sit there for an hour, maybe 2 hours, and when it was over, the greatest compliment you can give them is that this is freaking disgusting, and they're like, thank you so much.
There were a few
Talk about the worm.
genuinely nauseating.
Well,
Like,
we
and
talked
there's some
about the
really
worm
vile
because you
shit.
shared how it was made.
Right, and it's
So
in the trailer.
cool. And it's in the trailer.
Belmont
The
left
worm.
the room with the worm.
worm
I've never
really
seen
got
you-
me.
Yeah, you were having
You
like a
got
real physical
freaked.
reaction to it.
I don't know,
I
I
don't
discovered
like
something
it.
about myself that day. It was
Wow.
really great.
Worms. It was so cool because also it's such like a luxury to act with a monster. Like you're not.
Yep.
There's no level of pretending. Like a monster is chasing you.
Right.
Like I'm running and it's a Wendigo with its full and the stunt performers were so
good.
talented. The stunt performers were so talented that it was just like on all levels it made it. I think like our jobs as actors like so much easier because it was just so visceral.
Shout out Tibor.
Yes.
My guy.
Love Tibor.
Love you.
Marianne.
Love you, brother.
David, I do want to ask, of course, outside of just casting, which is amazing in this film too, I love to ask directors, what was that moment when you got a specific shot or something you were working on? When you got it, you were like, oh, we got a movie, guys. Oh, we got a movie.
There were several times when, because I mean, we wanted to take practical effects as far as we could. Right?
Yeah.
But we always knew that like we might need digital help to sort of get some things there or paint some things out.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of those moments where it just worked in camera. It was like yes, and it like turns out the way we planned to. And it's hard to talk about sort of specifics there, but there is a bathroom scene in the movie.
Oh, when
I mean, that's my favorite because it's just like
That's so favorite.
we actually did it and it worked. Like it was awesome.
Now, of course, starting from the world of a video game, does this feel video game-ish to some of you in some way as you're kind of like running through the process and you're like, okay, new life, okay, here's reboot. How does this feel as you're shooting it, or how you put it together in your mind as you're acting through it?
Yeah, no, definitely. There's levels to it, right? So like it gets harder as you go on, and like the way we would prepare one night later in the film versus one night earlier in the film was always different and pretty collective for the most part. It was such a creative process that all teams kind of had a fingerprint on. Like every department had some great influence on like how deep into the script we were, how it was affecting us kind of as we tried to survive.
So we're here at Wondercon where fans absolutely love everything about anything in this world too, the genre, but also they want to find something new to love and follow along with too. But I do want to ask, we are in a horror movie here. Can each of you really quickly kind of just give me a little thought on something that scared you as a kid? The first thing you remembered, whether it was like, some people were like when Bambi's mom died or something. Like there's specific things that happened where you're like, that still haunts me to this day. Or someone's like an episode of like Punky Brewster had like a spider or something that was weird. And so
I worked at a dog grooming salon when I was like 14.
I can't wait to hear what it's like.
And in the back, like upstairs in the back, so stupid. There was this like little TV, like this tiny, like old, like boxy TV, and I was young. I was like 14, maybe 13. No, I might have been younger than that, honestly.
That's not legal.
Yeah, I know.
She was
That's a good point.
They played it, I think it was I Know What You Did Last Summer, where I don't even know because I've never fully seen the movie because it freaked me out so much, where it was like the picture, and you saw the picture and you're like, oh my God, that's how she's gonna die. And I'm like sitting there like eating lunch while they're like grooming this like fluffy white dog, Sami and Cho, and I'm like, it scared the shit out of me seeing someone like fall back and have like a staple gun go to the back of their head. Ooh. Hell no, I've still not seen that movie. Is that what it is? Is that the movie?
No, I've had like 20 years to see it.
What
it's
movie
okay.
is that?
No, I don't know.
I think that's the movie. It's been a while since I've seen that too, and they're about to remake it too. So
Yeah.
They did. Shout out Maddie Klein. Kill that shit.
I remember in Princess Bride, I loved that movie. It's still one of my favorite movies. That's the rat scene.
ROTSs.
The rat
Rodents
scene.
of unusual size.
Yes. They freaked me out. I still loved the movie, but I would just
That's another
shield
great
myself.
practical effects movie.
Right.
Yeah. I have a couple. I remember being terrified by Haunted Mansion, the Eddie Murphy like comedy. Really? As a child.
That's like an interesting one.
I don't know why it scared me so bad. And then also my cousins showed me Lord of the Rings when I was 5.
Wow.
Which is not a time to be introduced to Gollum or to the giant spider in the 3rd movie. So the fear of spiders has held fast for the rest of my life.
Good.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, I watched the Jurassic Park, but the one with Steve Buscemi. Which one is that one? I think it's like number 4.
There's only 3.
Jurassic Park movies?
No, is it number 3?
Buscemi was never.
No,
Steve Buscemi, the star of Jurassic. That'd be awesome.
No.
Oh, Mikey.
Yeah, wait, no, Mikey. Anyways, there's this one Jurassic Park movie that I used to watch, and I was like,
He should have been in it.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Men in Black.
No. Anyway, so I'm watching Jurassic Park, and like there's a scene where like the Velociraptor, they thought it was like in a test tube, and they thought it was like dead, and it like moved, and then it started chasing after them. And then after that, I would always hate to go into my room when the lights are off because I thought there was gonna be like a Velociraptor that ate me.
Nice.
But, you know, it never happened, luckily.
Steve
Narnia
Buscemi was the
made me scared
Velociraptor.
to go on this.
No,
That's how good
no,
he is.
am I serious? Wait, there seriously wasn't one with Steve Buscemi in it?
There
I'm just
was
making myself
not.
old.
Wait, do you guys remember Cocoon? Do you remember that movie, Cocoon?
No.
Come on, Cocoon.
Freaks you out? What is the?
Cocoon.
I remember Cocoon.
Okay. The eggs, the alien eggs in the pool.
Yeah.
I swear to God, every time I peed in the toilet, I got so fucking scared that one of those cocoon people, those aliens, were gonna reach up from the water in the toilet.
And in fact,
I
that's
was
the bathroom
so
scene
scared.
in Until Dawn.
Yes.
And we made it. We made it happen. We made my nightmares come to life.
Dave, maybe this is what you should ask to help them close together in their fears and get them ready as a group. Ask them what their fears are, because apparently it works out really well and everyone enjoys everyone else's fears. So how about you? Where
He's not afraid of
do you
anything.
remember any specific thing?
Yeah, I do. When I was a kid, maybe 8 or something, maybe 9, a friend, it was a really foggy evening back home in Sweden. And a friend of mine were like, oh,
Love
let's
this.
go
I
into
love
the
this.
fog. And we went up this hill, and there was a guy in a cloak there, and he pulled out a sword.
Wait, stop. What? Is this real?
It is a real story. So I mean, we ran home and told our parents about it, and to this day I don't know what it was. I assume it was just maybe some teenager playing something.
LARPing.
Wait, was this the inspiration for the shadowy figure?
Sure.
Maybe he was
That's a yes.
That's really scary.
I know, and I
That's
don't know what it
awful.
was.
And it's real life. We're talking about a movie. That's
Wow.
freaky.
All right, you win.
I just assume Norsemen are always up there anyways with
swords?
swords,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it happens.
What was yours?
Mine, it was actually, there was an episode of Punky Brewster, which was a whole kids TV show. And for some reason, one of her friends was turned into like a half spider or something, and it freaked me out. I still remember like they gave like her kid friend like these black glass eye contacts or whatever, and it was just, it throws me out. But I mean, Dark Crystal and a bunch of that stuff still. Yeah, and all that stuff. I mean, you go into Return from Oz with Fairuza Balk too. It was just it was just horrifying stuff too. So last one. How about you?
Wow.
I'd say the original Poltergeist. I watched it at a sleepover when it just came out on home video,
How old
which was
were
like you used to put movies on cassettes and you could put it in a VCR. But like the
wait,
but I watched that too. That scene when the spirits are kind of coming down the stair. I did not sleep that night. That was a big one for me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited for this, and I think everyone else is here too. Not only at Wondercon, but everyone who plays video games, loves horror movies, loves David's work as well as loves all of you too. So hope you had as much fun making this film as it's going to be for us to watch. Why don't we start looking at some coloring? Who is closer to me? David, do you want to show us what you've done so far?
Oh my God.
Wow! Jesus!
I love the sticker. I woke up like.
And you changed. You changed a lot. You've got range.
incredible.
You've got range. Look at that.
Avant-garde.
That's cool.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Very cool. Who wants to go next?
No one.
Not me.
Yeah. No.
All right.
Beautiful.
That's fantastic too.
What does it
What does it
say?
say on top?
Pink princesses.
Princesses. Love it. Says.
Who gets the dog head?
Belmont.
Naturally.
That makes sense.
It was intentional.
You ready? Are you can? Are you can? How about
I am ready.
Belmont, you go.
Yay.
And I added in Dion.
Like this perfect.
Guys, her skirt is an exact replica.
That's an
Yeah,
exact
actually it
replica
is.
of the skirt.
Pretty
I
damn
want a
good.
little.
I like all the hearts on it. It's cute.
It's so cute.
I love you guys.
Well, the fun thing is when you watch people coloring, you always feel like it. Like you understand them a little more. Like, oh, that's an outliner. We understand who outlines.
Yeah.
And when you were coloring by shading and stuff too, so everyone's got different worlds
I
too.
take
So
I take my crayons very seriously.
as you should. Let's look at yours.
Mine. This is
Oh my God.
Fantastic.
Clover, best girl.
Wow.
That's, like,
These are
really
all of
good.
us. I decided
That's
to make a
freaking
Odessa
accurate.
taking a poop
Yeah. Yes.
to symbolize her anxiety in this interview.
Yeah.
You covered this so accurately. This is great.
I don't know, I was just vibing. And then
How's it vibing?
I just added some eyeballs for like generalized anxiety of the
Because I'm in the because
You feel watched.
Yeah.
You feel watched.
All right, Belmont.
I took our friend Peter
Oh,
Stormare
Peters, yeah.
and made Dr. Melanie into a clown.
I love that.
I love this.
What is the third eye see is the question.
I mean, only he knows.
Actually, he told me a crazy quote one time. He like walked into our little green room writing area. It was just me. I was reading a script and like doing something else. He like looks me deep in the eyes and he's like, great quote from a 15th century French monk. The darkest part of our eye sees the light. And then left. So that's
Sounds
Left
like
with his
That's
there
what
it
I
is.
see.
It's the darkest part of his eye.
You're hired.
yeah. He nodded, very satisfied with himself, and left the room. And I went, oh, okay.
He definitely did it on purpose. He was like, yeah.
For sure. Okay.
All right, so I couldn't find your guys' skin color, so yeah. So I was trying to do a picture accurate, and then I realized I did the wrong color for the but it's okay. You know what?
Yeah,
You did
fucked
yourself
up.
really
Oh
well.
my god.
Yeah, because it was the only color that I could match the skin to. I was like, wow, this is the only skin color accurate one that I could find.
Just ask them to give their hands each.
Yeah. I was literally looking around. I'm like, there's no colors in here that I had in my coloring box. Anyways.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I want to thank you all for coming and coloring with us. Hope you had fun. As you know, Comic-Con and Wondercon and these kind of places are just places people are looking to love something. Whether it's something they exclusively get a chance to take home by themselves or a memory they get to hold too. So a lot of people are going to say, I saw them here, and they're going to already be so excited for this April date coming up, So congratulations on the film, and thank you for coming.
Thank you. This was a great icebreaker.
Pleasure.
Super
Yeah,
fun.
thank you so much.
So fun.